Hello everyone and welcome to ECW live from the Vivant Arena in Salt Lake City, Utah. No words were said backstage, but I believe the actions speak for themselves. Tomohiro, Ishii and Hirooki Goto waiting for the inevitable, waiting to see if Los Ingobernables de Japón are in the building here tonight. And as well as that, we'll be waiting to see who will go to King of the Ring in our main event of the evening. It is Dijakovic versus Randy Orton coming up in the main event tonight. And we'll start the evening as well the way we'll end it, finding out who goes to King of the Ring for ECW. A warm welcome to you all wherever you are tuning in from for this edition of ECW. Plenty to come your way here this evening, and we kick it off with the first of two King of the Ring qualifiers here this evening. ECW's field will be completed by the end of tonight. And first things first, it is Chad Gable to go one-on-one with Jonathan Gresham here to determine the first of those two spots. Now you may have noticed that Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, they have the possibility to compete for 3 spots in this tournament, ECW only 2. And there is a very good reason for that. Last year's King of the Ring tournament was won by ECW, by Aleister Black. As a result of that, to even up the playing field and to potentially result in a new winner for a new brand, the winning brand gets a pick removed, so they can only have 2 representing them the year later. And that is why ECW only has the opportunity here to this year to select 2 to represent itself in the field. Chad Gable will know plenty about it as well. He went to last year's King of the Ring in Korakuen Hall. He'll be looking to go there for a second year in a row, albeit under a very different guise, of course. Now a member of the new foundation and accompanied out by a man we haven't seen in person in the arena in some time, in Bret the Hitman Hart. There is his opponent, the Octopus himself, Jonathan Gresham. This is going to be a very technically sound and based matchup, I believe, between these two men. So the bell rings and we are underway in this one, and it's only just dawned on me as well that Chad Gable really is committing to this role in the new foundation as well. Look at the hair that we're used to, completely gone. Chad Gable, we knew him for wearing the singlet as well, of course, in American Alpha, but that seems out of the window as well. A very simplistic, albeit colourful, attire for him now as he's a member of the new foundation, and it is all about just trying to prove that he belongs there. Bret the Hitman Hart wanted this opportunity for him. He asked for it, and he was given it. Jonathan Gresham, who picked up his first victory on ECW last week over Humberto Carrillo, will be looking to build on that momentum and go to the King of the Ring tournament here tonight. We of course know that I believe it is 3 competitors have already been announced for the King of the Ring tournament. Juice Robinson and Pete Dunne over on Monday Night Raw, and Keith Lee on SmackDown. And the tournament just over 2 weeks away. By the end of the evening, we will be over halfway through the field. Oh, as a massive lariat comes in there from Chad Gable, but the tournament bracket itself will not be revealed until the night of the tournament itself, so there will be no time to prepare for anyone in that way. There'll be no time to study tapes believing you'll face a specific set of opponents. As far as whoever qualifies is aware, all 7 are fair game. Jonathan Gresham came in there with a lovely tornado DDT off the second rope. Cross armbar now locked in. Not a surprise that these two men are going to break out the submissions on one another in an attempt to claim victory. Cross armbar locked in by Gresham. Middle of the ring, Bret Hart can only watch on as Chad Gable's locked in it, but Gable will slip his way out of it. Right hands to Gresham, and he is out of that one. Back up to a vertical basis. Snapmare now. Elbow on the point of the head there. Well thought through by Gable, nothing flashy, just effective. Now speaking of flashy, nice little bit of work there, but Gresham sticks the landing, gets himself out of trouble, beautifully done. Into a nice drop kick as well. Once he got out of that back suplex and the opportunity opening itself up, they're working over the arm for the octopus stretch, I would imagine. And now, beautiful tiger suplex, arms around the waist, covers made. Bret Hart watches on as Gable gets the shoulder up at 2. Very nicely done indeed, though, from Gresham. And not a surprise that these two men are starting to pick up the pace a little bit now, starting to get a little bit more going as they try to get to King of the Ring. It's a guillotine here from Jonathan Gresham on Chad Gable, looking to either make Gable tap or fade. Gable, though, this man of course knows everything about mad wrestling, represented the United States of America at the 2012 Olympics. He knows what he's doing in that ring. And a beautiful German suplex comes down there onto Jonathan Gresham as Gable turns things around. Look out now from behind, back suplex, gets it, bridges after it as well. Not every day that you see that. But Gresham has the kick out. Beautiful bit of work there from Gable, though. Great thinking to go for that. Now, Gable going after the leg here of Jonathan Gresham. Locking it in there, stitching it in, just pulling that leg back and a stump puller there. The pain that surges through Gresham's thigh. And the entirety of the upper leg really as it burns from the pain that it withstands. And he gets himself out of it and uses his legs there to kick Gable. He rolls outside of the ring to catch his breath for a minute, but Jonathan Gresham's right there to stay on him. Might be the smaller of the two, but that's not going to stop Gresham from putting up a fight here. Gable now sends them back into the ring. What could we see here from Chad Gable? He was sent into the barricade, but he's the one sending them back into the ring. Double underhook suplex. Quite a snap on it as well from Gable in all fairness. Oh, hang on. Gable's not going to end it. Ankle lock. Ankle lock is stitched in. Gable's got the ankle lock in here. He is trying to finish off Jonathan Gresham. This was the move that he used when he debuted as a member of the New Foundation. It's the move he's using now. Gresham trying to reach for the rope, but they're just not there. Gable trying to force the tap out. Can Gable get Jonathan Gresham to submit and advance to the King of the Ring tournament? The longer Gresham stays in this, the worse it is, but Gresham rolls his way out of it. A very competitive start here on ECW. Gresham coming back as well with a hot shot. Down on the leg he goes as well. Turnabout is fair play. Down on the knee though. What are we going to see here? Rolling through. Looks to be an inverted figure 4 being applied here on Chad Gable. And Gresham in the dominant position. Surging all the pain down at the Chad Gable. The legs of Chad Gable are going to be screaming in agony for him to tap out. But Gable is not one to give up. And Bret Hart would have instilled that into him. Would have told him there is no way you will quit under my watch. And that's exactly what Gable's doing now, coming back here with a suplex. Credit to both men where it is due, no doubt about it. This has been a very competitive start to ECW here. Salt Lake City loving it as well. Just the first of plenty of matches to come your way here this evening as Gable comes in with a leaping clothesline there, takes Gresham down, and maybe talking about a smack to him as well as he's down on the mat. What will Chad Gable be looking for, I wonder, to try and finish off this contest? What could Jonathan Gresham be looking to get the win here as well? Up and over. Goes Gresham there. Oh, leg caught, spun around. Gresham nails a nice drop kick there. You knew that these two men were going to be breaking out the counters. They know how to counter one another. They know what they need to do in that ring. And they are doing everything right. But it's just all about what they can do to claim victory. And this might be it for Gresham. Has him in. Octopus stretch. Octopus stretch is locked in. Chad Gable is nowhere near the ropes. Nowhere near safety. Nowhere near Bret Hart for that matter as well. This is where he's going to have to dig down deep to try and hold on. Trying his hardest not to tap out. Referee in a great position, and Gable will survive the octopus stretch. And not only that, but he catches him with a wheel kick as well. That took some heart. That was digging down deep. He almost looked to try and finish things off with the Chaos Theory there as well, but Gresham came with the counter. Gresham for the high, sends him face first into the turnbuckle. Gable though, sends him back with an elbow. Now sends him into the turnbuckle. Flying forearm, and down goes Gresham. You can see though that Gable's feeling the effect. He may have maybe a really well athletically done move, but just before that he was hunched over. He was gasping for air, and you can still see it now. He is feeling the impact of this matchup, feeling the impact of that octopus stretch, and Gresham could well be in the driver's seat to make something happen. Gable though slips his way out of that slam, kicks down on the leg there, nicely done, brings him into the turnbuckle now. Gresham sent face first into it. Gable sees the chance, and it's there to be taken, sends him in, rolls around. Chaos Theory! 1, 2, Chad Gable is going to King of the Ring. The chance was there, and he took it. The newest member of the new foundation goes to King of the Ring. Last week on ECW, we were treated to one of the greatest upsets in recent memory when a bloodied Adam Cole overcame a dominant Rusev to become the new ECW television champion. There was no denying that it stunned the arena and everyone watching as Brooklyn went into meltdown over their new television champion. However, that was not where the story ended. Backstage, after ECW went off the air, there was an attempt from an ECW backstage interviewer to get some post-match comments from the manager and wife of Rusev, that being Lana, who seemingly had nothing to say, ignoring the question asked and walking off. Seems as if not all is well on Rusev Day. Well, read into that how you may, folks. I certainly think it's a pretty interesting situation, and if I'm going to throw my 2 cents into the hat for a minute, I believe that Lana reacted in the way that she did, not out of ignorance, not out of just being who she is. I believe she reacted in the way she did because I think she realized she made a mistake. She realized that they did the wrong thing. They, of course, had bigged up Rusev and bigged up this idea that he needed to prove that he was the most dominant champion that ECW had on its roster. And the first chance they had to prove that, he was beaten by Adam Cole. A man who had a notorious track record, unfortunately it must be said, for losing title matches. So I think that Lana realized that a mistake was made and she was in no mood to talk to anyone, and there may be tensions in that camp. Rusev, on the other hand, wasn't even found for an interview. But here is a man who I have had the chance to interview a few weeks ago, and here is a man who has turned over his new leaf and truly asserted his loyalty to the British Empire. The Welshman himself, Mark Andrews, but it was his leader who had something to say earlier this week. Taken to Twitter, Drew McIntyre said that he was frustrated in some ways that there was not a single King of the Ring opportunity offered to any member of the British Empire, and said that that was fine with them as they would turn their attention to the gold, and the conquest was well underway. Whatever that conquest may be remains to be seen, and how they mean to go about it we'll see as well. But one thing is for certain, that man himself is out with Mark Andrews here this evening, the man who beat Tyler Bate 2 weeks ago on ECW on the go-home show to the Royal Rumble, to not only remove himself from being involved with Tyler Bate, but to assert himself as a permanent member of the British Empire. And we will see, I believe, where that'll lead as time goes on. I don't know is the honest truth. I mean, we saw when Mark Andrews was having those times with Tyler Bate that he was kind of second guessing himself. Did he really make the right decision in his mind? Was it what he wanted to do? And does that still creep into the mind of Mark Andrews? Is that still there? I think that remains to be seen, as he's got a competitive matchup here anyway against Cedric Alexander. I apologize for talking over Cedric's entrance. There was just plenty to take away from last week, and as well some more that I simply do not want to give the time of day to talk about right now. But here we go. Between these two men, and what should be a highly entertaining match in the stacked cruiserweight division. The door, in my opinion, wide open now that Rey Mysterio has picked up back-to-back victories over Buddy Murphy. The question could be, of course, who could be next in line for Rey Mysterio and that crown? Could it be one of these two men in the ring? Could it be the men we just saw a moment ago and the likes of Jonathan Gresham? Could it be someone like Kushida? The simple answer is we don't know. What we do know is that beautiful Spanish fly almost gave Mark Andrews the victory in this one. Almost, but not quite, though, as we get back up to our feet here. And Cedric Alexander there counters a drop kick. Nicely done. Brings Mark Andrews up, but gets the suplex down on him. See what happened here now. Cedric maybe in the driver's seat. Just got to be prepared, got to be wary, because we know who's at ringside, and we know that the British Empire don't always like to do things the right way, shall we say. Only when Mark Andrews demands it do they usually follow it. Of course, not the only time we'll be seeing the British Empire as well. Oh, missed elbow drop there from Cedric. Zack Gibson will be going one-on-one against one half of the ECW Tag Team Champions, Scott Dawson, up next, as the tension continues between those two sides despite their contest at the Royal Rumble. Frog splash from the top there from Cedric. Could it be a big win over Mark Andrews? It's two. Big opportunity presented itself there, but it just wasn't enough to put things away. Hang on. McIntyre getting involved, getting in the face of Cedric Alexander here, and the chance presents itself for Mark Andrews to attack from behind as he nails the standing moonsault there. Cover made as Mark Andrews put him away. Cedric kicks out at two. Wait a minute. Drew McIntyre sliding a chair into the ring here. Referee needs to get that out of the ring, because who knows what the British Empire could do with it. I mean, I say that, but this is Mark Andrews on about. This is a man who doesn't rely upon those kind of actions to get the victory. This is a man who's better than that. Wait a minute though, McIntyre, he's getting in the face now. McIntyre getting in the face here of the referee. Ref has no idea what's going on. McIntyre continued to jaw jack with him. Andrews has the chin. Say it ain't so. Oh my God! Just kicked the chair into the face of Cedric Alexander. 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have believed that he would have done such a thing, but now the proof is in the pudding. He is committed to the cause. He is British Empire. Stunt Dog Millionaire connects. Statement sent. Mark Andrews lies with the Empire. Oh, come on. Come on. You can hear the boos from the Salt Lake City crowds at this man and at the man in the ring, and rightly so. Thought you were better than this. I thought you were more than this. It seems we were all wrong about Mark Andrews. Tyranny connects onto Cedric Alexander. And the conquest is well underway. Mark Andrews beats Cedric Alexander at a match that we should have been well looking forward to for good reason. Thrown out of the window. Thrown out of the window for these two men to have their own personal gain. McIntyre with a distraction. And Andrews Well, a number of weeks ago he wouldn't have done this, but that was then. This is now. Andrews celebrates the win and wait. McIntyre just found Cedric on the outside, and a Claymore! As if enough wasn't done already. Not only is the conquest underway, but the message signed, sealed, and delivered from the British Empire.
One.
Well, I certainly hope that Kurt Angle and the security here are right about that one. That there is no Los Ingobernables de Japón in the building. And on top of that, Ishii and Goto can get their opportunity to finally put all of this to an end. Cross your fingers, everyone. He said it himself. We have seen enough chaos and despair on ECW in the past week and a half to last a lifetime. We don't need any more tonight. But I'll tell you what the DCC do want, and that is their hands on Ishii and Goto. A very interesting declaration made there by the leader of the DCC and Chris Sabin. We saw Corbin as well, just languishing in the background, looking on. Very interesting predicament there, and that may be just due to the frustrations in the DCC's eyes for not getting the opportunity to compete for the tag team titles again, and not getting a chance to King of the Ring, or not even being in the Royal Rumble. Whatever the case may be, certainly clear to see that they are frustrated. I don't know if going after those two is the right way to go about it. What I do know here tonight, though, is that the British Empire, especially after the actions we saw a moment ago, are persona non grata in Salt Lake City, and especially this man. Arguably the most hated member of the British Empire, Zack Gibson, does everything to piss off everyone and succeeds in it as well. And here we go between these two men now then. Listen to the roar from Salt Lake City for one half of the tag team champions, Scott Dawson. Last week they were laid out backstage courtesy of an assault from ZSJ and Zack Gibson. And as you can see here tonight, both men coming up by themselves. ZSJ and Dash Wilder have been banned from ringside here for this one. It is going to be a clean fight down the middle, or as clean as it can get when the likes of Zack Gibson are in the ring. Of course, we saw last week that Gibson believes there was an illegitimate 3 count at the Royal Rumble. I believe that his shoulder was way off the mat on the pre-show where they fought for the ECW tag team titles. I'm not sure I agree with it, but it seems that they are still set in trying to make that the case, and they want to do anything possible and anything in their power to get their hands back on the Revival, and they're getting an opportunity here tonight. It is Gibson and Dawson one-on-one. And look at this, these two men just exploding out of the gates to one another, charging into one another, and it's Dawson who comes out with the hits early on. Look at this now. This is what we came here to see. This is what we expected, especially after last week as well. And this is what we're getting. Dawson and Gibson not waiting a minute. They're throwing the jabs and the strikes at one another. Oh, big drop kick though from Gibson. And Dawson goes down. You can already see a welt on the side of the head there of Zack Gibson from where Scott Dawson has been connecting with those strikes. Gibson goes up and over the top rope. In trouble here maybe. Incoming suplex back into the ring. Yes, Dawson gets it onto Gibson as well. Imagine all members of the British Empire watching on backstage. Of course, we know that Andrews and McIntyre are here. Don't know if the same can be said for Zack Sabre Jr. What I do know is that Gibson, just because he's on his own, doesn't make him any less dangerous. We saw that against Mark Andrews a number of weeks ago. The fact that he used the referee essentially as a human shield to protect himself, and then low-blowed his own British Empire member before trying to grab a steel chair and strike him across the head with as well. Zack Gibson is a cunning individual, an evil individual. No pun intended. What we are seeing right now is that Scott Dawson is willing to take the fight here against Zack Gibson. Doesn't matter how many strikes the King of Scouse style throws at him. He'll throw them back as well. But a big German suplex connects there. Nice bridge from Gibson. He's got it in there. There's 2. And he almost beat one half of the tag team champions right there and then. Gibson's certainly got some confidence in him right now, though. After that German suplex, first big move of the match, you could say, as he sent into the turnbuckle now as one half of the tag team champions, but he's able to counter his way out of it, send Gibson back into the turnbuckle and stomp a proverbial mud hole into him as well. And here's some very still and frequent boos throughout the crowd here towards Zack Gibson. That was the case when Mark Andrews was in the ring as well. Hard to say at first if it was towards Andrews or McIntyre, but I think certainly by the end of the match it was towards the both of them. Oh, what a knife-edged shot from Gibson there. Lit up the chest of Dawson. And a back suplex there, dropping him on his neck effectively. Zack Gibson just doing everything right here to keep Dawson down, to stop the Jets from firing up, and to just keep him frustrated that he can't get his hands on the man who assaulted him backstage. Made there by Dawson on the outside though. Here we go. Gibson sent into the steel steps. That's what we like to see. Dawson now Going to send him into the barricade as well. Oh, but Gibson trying to fight him back there. A drop kick on the outside connects as well. Gibson able to counter things around here. Referee counting away and into the steps again. This time, though, it's Dawson who goes into them. Gibson getting back into the ring here. But as we saw from Jay White on SmackDown a couple of days ago, it's only to restart the count. Cunning from Zack Gibson. Certainly cunning indeed. Look out. Oh! A brain buster down onto the knee. A devastating maneuver. One that could have finished off Scott Dawson right here, right now. Dawson gets the shoulders up at 2. Gibson can't believe it. Thought he had him right there and then, but not to be the case. He's going to have to do plenty more than that to keep down one half of this tag team champions. Man who went to Survivor Series despite being busted up, despite having internal injuries, courtesy of Roman Reigns. That did not stop Scott Dawson from going to that venue and putting on the best fight that he could. That did not stop them 2 weeks later from him and Wilder going to Anarchy Rules and defeating the DCC to become the ECW Tag Team Champions. But Zack Gibson knows he's got to do everything here to put him away. And I bring up those minor injuries, those internal injuries rather. I wonder if they're still in Scott Dawson and if the pain is being felt surging through those ribs and that back again as a figure 4 sharpshooter is locked in here. Talk about innovative offense from Zack Gibson. Can Liverpool's #1 diamond force Scott Dawson to tap out here? Dawson rolls him around and kicks his way out there. And oh! Just when it looked like he was getting up to a vertical basis, just when it looked like there was hope in the air for him, Gibson takes it away. But Dawson comes back, kicks the leg out from underneath Zack Gibson, sends him face first into the turnbuckle, and he doesn't mind getting a little bit underhanded as well, raking at the face and maybe even the eyes of Zack Gibson. Turnabout is fair play, and between these two teams there has been plenty of that as well. Now Dawson getting frustrated. And why wouldn't he be? Gibson though, discus forearm, and Dawson goes back down. Every time Dawson's firing up the jets, Gibson's just finding the way to make sure that they are cooled. But now, they may be too fired up for Gibson to cool them down. Tiger Bomb connects. 1, 2, and oh, Gibson kicks out at 2 there. Trying to get through speed as quickly as he can, but only just to walk straight into a right hand there from Dawson. Add an elbow and another right hand to take him down. He may be without Dashwada, but that's not going to stop Scott Dawson here from being full of fire. Over the shoulder power bomb, cover made, and again Gibson kicks out just in time. And it has been Dashwada who we've seen the predominant proportion of the singles matches involving the Revival, so Scott Dawson is sort of out of his element here, but you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it given the way that he's fighting Zack Gibson here this evening. Irish whip off the ropes comes Gibson, cannons the back elbow though, nicely done. Look out now, Gibson. Oh, small package suplex driver there. Could have gone for the cover after it, decided against it, just brought Dawson down with authority. Here we go, belly to belly. Oh, rake of the eyes to get him out of that one. Dawson doesn't mind how he does it, just so long as he gets it done. Pendulum swinging in this contest between these two sides who have become quite harsh rivals with one another. After what happened last week, I can only imagine that's been exacerbated tenfold as well. Wait a minute, Gibson calling Dawson to his feet. Is he thinking helter-skelter? Wait, no, float over DDT. No! Dawson denies it. Nicely done. And a Thesz press. A little bit of an old throwback to a redneck. Shades of Stone Cold in that one. As Scott Dawson looks to try and finish this contest off here. Hang on, the crowd rises to their feet. Wait. Mark Andrews. ZSJ was banned from ringside, but Mark Andrews wasn't. Andrews and Dawson face to face. Hang on. The referee got clocked from behind. Referee is down. Dawson's none the wiser. Oh, the chair. The steel chair rears its head again. Twice in a row it's used by the British Empire. DDT onto the chair. Dawson's head and neck spiked. Ref never saw it. And he's up to his feet just in time to catch the helter-skelter. Mark Andrews plays with the British Empire, and it proves victory for Zack Gibson. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Dawson thought there may have been a chance to put it all away. But Mark Andrews has truly proved his allegiance tonight. Gibson gets the win. Completely undeserved, but hang on! We ain't over yet! Wilder power bombs ZSJ into the locker! Can't get his revenge outside, so gets his revenge backstage! Oh, it certainly is, Dash Wilder. It certainly is. And we could be seeing some of that payback next week as well. One match might be down between these two sides, but the other one is to come next week. It is Zack Sabre Jr. versus Dash Wilder. And after everything we just saw, I think that's got just a little bit more animosity in the air than even Gibson and Dawson did tonight. But we can also confirm that next week on ECW, the DCC will get what they want, as it will be Tomohiro Ishii and Hirooki Goto versus Sabin and Corbin. That is going to be a very interesting tag team matchup next week. But that's then. This is now. Get ready, Salt Lake, and get ready, everyone watching at home, for the main event of ECW, for the King of the Ring qualifier that could determine one of the favorites in that tournament. It is the Viper Randy Orton versus Dominik Dijakovic. And these two men certainly know plenty about one another, given what they've done over the past 2 weeks. Recast your mind a little bit. 2 weeks ago, heading into the Royal Rumble, Randy Orton went on a bit of an RKO spree. RKO'd a few people. And I believe it was Adam Cole, who he had just RKO'd when he left the ring. And all of a sudden, Dijakovic came walking down the ramp and stood behind the Viper. Orton looked him in the eyes and dared to take the risk. Dared to try for the RKO. Dijakovic denied it and connected with the feast your eyes on the outside. Last week, as everything was boiling over backstage between LIJ and Goto and Ishii, while Dijakovic watched on as well as we all did, Randy Orton snuck back into the ring and connected with the RKO on Dijakovic, telling him what goes around comes around, kid. That was the bit that added fuel to the fire. That was the bit that I believe brought myself and Kurt Angle to make the decision that this match had to happen. And not only did it have to happen, it had to have a little bit more added to it as well. That little bit more, of course, King of the Ring. Randy Orton, certainly a well-versed competitor, of course, former world champion, and I'm sure would love to rejig his career with a King of the Ring victory as well. But this is a man who is starting his career in the WWE. This is a man who has Breakout Star of the Year written all over him. This is the man that we will feast our eyes upon, Dominik Dijakovic. Salt Lake City with a big reception for this man as well, who went toe-to-toe with the Animal, Batista, at the Royal Rumble and eliminated him. Imagine being able to say that and knowing that you've got this entire future ahead of you as well, as Dominik Dijakovic does. Remember, he's still got so much success to come his way. He's got the tag team with Oney Lorcan and a Boston Strong Style. He's got the Royal Rumble under his belt. He's already gone there and eliminated the Animal. And now he's got this here tonight against Randy Orton, who stands just underneath the apron that Dominik Dijakovic walked on to get in, truly showing no fear in the face of the Viper. Great to see it as well from this man. But yes, Dijakovic, I believe it is true that Breakout Star of the Year is written all over this man, that he's got everything that it takes to be a star around here. But a man who knows everything about being a star, about being there every single time. A man who is just an RKO away from either taking your dreams and breaking them, or making and building his own back up. So here we go. Dijakovic coming out of the gates there with a super kick, taking Randy Orton off guard there. Orton called for the fight, and now it is underway between these two men. So here we go. Orton and Dijakovic, main event here in Salt Lake City. Who is going to King of the Ring to join the likes of Chad Gable, Keith Lee, Juice Robinson, and Pete Dunne? 5 of the 8 will be determined by the end of this evening. And Dijakovic making sure that Randy Orton doesn't have a moment to be his normal cocky self. Both these men picked up eliminations at the Royal Rumble. Randy Orton hit the ring with authority at the Royal Rumble, RKOing everyone in sight, including the behemoth that is Bronson Reed, as a big sit-out powerbomb gets to there from Dijakovic. I believe he immediately eliminated Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali, but also eliminated Bronson Reed as well with the help of Seth Rollins. German suplex with a bridge from Dijakovic. Cover made, count of 2. Dijakovic coming out of the gates here early on, using that experience and that speed, that unsuspecting speed that he has going for him as well, to really take you off guard. But then Randy Orton, you give credit to him, he has fought every kind of opponent there is to fight. Every style, every person, every type, he's fought them. And he knows how to beat them as well. And he knows how to take risks that you may not expect from him as well. Orton, elbow drop on the top rope. Cover is made on Dijakovic, who powers out at 1. Wow, oh wow. Orton was eliminated by the man who, well, one of the men who we saw standing backstage earlier on this evening. And of course being the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii. Dominik Dijakovic, meanwhile, was, he had to be teamed up on by Jeff Hardy and Jon Moxley to get him out, but they got him out just a moment after they had worked with him to get rid of the Animal. You see that there from Randy Orton, though. That is what makes Randy Orton, Randy Orton. He had him in the chin lock, and it's as if he felt that Dijakovic could have slipped his way out of it, and he just let go. And then a knee drop. That's how Randy Orton, he just knows everything there is to know in that ring. He knows how to derail you. He knows how to take that momentum away from you. And he knows what he's doing. Every single move calculated, thought through in his head. But Dijakovic thinking on his feet, there to get out of the way. Orton, no, has the counter. Click of a finger, he's countering him. Back elbow, Dijakovic doesn't even get phased by it. Thrust kick, this time Orton had it scouted. You can't go to the well too many times against Orton, because he will make you pay. And he does just that by attacking the leg of Dijakovic as well, more than once. It's intelligent. It is really intelligent from the Viper. It is what makes him so dangerous. And of course for Randy Orton as well, if all else fails, he's got the RKO up his sleeve. What more do you need? One of the most devastating moves in all professional wrestling. And of course, the last thing you want to do is get on Randy Orton's bad side as well, because when he snaps, oh, it is not a sight anyone wants to see, and anyone wants to be on the other side on, even if your name is Dominik Dijakovic. Counter made there by Orton as he rolled out onto the apron. Sunset flip now. Cover made. Dijakovic shoulders pinned down. Orton almost had him. Almost is not enough though, has to be said. Randy Orton also did enough there to keep Dijakovic down for a little bit longer and is able to use that to his advantage. There is some of Orton's signature offense. Bringing Dijakovic down right there and then, and now looking to capitalize the best that he can. Dijakovic sent with authority there into that turnbuckle. Big impact for him, and Orton with a nice neck breaker. He's not trying to go for the massive moves. He's not trying to break out the RKO yet either. He is just going for what he knows will work. That is what is so systematic. That is what is, it's just such a high ring IQ from Randy Orton, and it is working to an absolute T right now. Look at this now. He knows he's in control, and he is just flaunting it. But you might want to turn around, Randy Orton, because Dijakovic has a few tricks up his sleeve as well. Misses the clothesline. Back body drop now. Dijakovic, spine buster. Well. Randy Orton though. Dijakovic again goes to the well, and Orton just knows what to do to counter him. And a back elbow, and that momentum there from Dijakovic that came surging back to his system, being dragged out of him. Or will it? Dijakovic comes back there with a nice right hand, and another. This is where he needs to make an opening. This is where he needs to connect with a lot of offense, but he couldn't leave a gap open like that for Orton to slip into as the Olympic Slam connects. Orton just knew what he was doing, timed it right, and Dijakovic is back down. This is what this match is. It is ability and agility and athleticism versus experience, ring IQ, and just being an all-around fantastic athlete. Both these men, all-around fantastic athletes, but the difference is Randy Orton's been doing it for longer, and he knows what he's doing in that ring more than Dijakovic does. And that is exactly why he used something that you may not expect from him to his advantage. A headbutt into the rope hung DDT. Not what you expect, but that's exactly what Randy Orton goes for. And what Randy Orton is looking to go for are the three most dangerous ladders in all of wrestling. RKO, no! Dijakovic counters. Leaping clothesline as well, kicked up right after it, and he's on the top rope all of a sudden. Dijakovic, moonsault, absolutely spectacular. Cover, Orton kicks out. Now that was an opening for Dijakovic, and it's one that he's got to take control of as well. Front face lock on Orton, and using some of Orton's own repertoire against him with a Russian leg sweep there. Beautiful elbow drop as well. The height he got on that one. Here we go. Lifts him up to his feet. Oh, Orton though got the counter. Again gets the counter, but sent over the top rope. Hangs on the apron there though. Right hand, counter there. Orton comes back into the ring now with Dijakovic. RKO again. It's countered. Orton gives up his back. Feast your eyes. No, that's countered as well. Randy Orton, roll up. He could have him here. Is Randy Orton going to kick in the ring? Doesn't even get a one count. Oh, wow. Back to back there in terms of those counters. RKO denied for a second time, and what could have been a feast your eyes attempt denied with it as well. And then Orton just trying to think right there in the moment for that roll up, but Dijakovic could just rely on his power to get out of dodge there and kick out as early as he could, but the power attempt was countered just a moment ago there. That powerbomb counter from Orton, and it's opened. The playbook here for the Viper to take some more underhanded tactic, shall we say, as he rakes the face of Dijakovic into the ropes. Connects with a nice neck breaker there. Covers made. Middle of the ring. 2 count. So Dijakovic trying to get any sense of fight and fire back into him right now. So it's just Randy Orton being Randy Orton. As he brings him down there. Putting in the corner. What's he got in mind here? Trying to pull Dijakovic up to his feet. Trying to execute something here. Oh no, just using the turnbuckle to his advantage. Showing one thing, but then doing another. Randy Orton, though, gets caught back. Suplex, though, floats over into a crossbody counter. Again, you have to ask, how does he do it? And the simple answer is, because he's Randy Orton. In the corner we go now. Well, Dijakovic goes anyway. Wait a minute, this is not looking good for Dijakovic. The good strength there from Orton to get the bigger man up onto that top rope, but who knows what Orton's got up his sleeve. I think it involves crashing down to the mat, though. Superplex from Orton on Dijakovic. And Orton will look for it. Third time is the charm, so they say, but it won't be. RKO counted again from Dijakovic. Big boot. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes. No! Again, the feast your eyes is denied, but for the third time, the RKO is shut down, and look at this now. Orton is pissed. Orton is... This is the side that I was talking about, that frustrated side of the Viper, that side that when he snaps, you do not want to be on the other end of. Dijakovic is, and Randy Orton is airing his frustrations the best that he can right now. Snap suplex in. Orton. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Dijakovic is down and he just stomps relentlessly on him. Orton thought he had him. He thought that was it. Game, set, match. That it was game over. But instead, Dijakovic is still in this one. Randy Orton kneeling down to him there. Wait a minute. Pounding on the mat again. Is he thinking another one? Is he thinking... No, he stands face to face with Dijakovic, who seems seemingly out of it and doesn't look to try and put him away with the RKO. He's Orton trying to collect his mind again, as if to tell him think one thing but do another right there and then. Right hand, Dijakovic almost out on his feet in this moment. Randy Orton definitely letting his anger get the better of him for that time being, but look at the damage that it did to Dijakovic. He has not had any fight in him now since that Feast Your Eyes attempt. Randy Orton's frustrations have got the better of him, and the Viper truly emerging and truly using it to take control as well. Look at this from Orton, just stomping away there, viciously working over the body of Dijakovic. And drills the knee down onto the face of Dijakovic again in this one. If there's any fight left in this young man, then now would be the time to demonstrate it, because Randy Orton may well have what he needs to finish this off. Right hand from Orton. Orton may have called him to his feet as if he was looking for... Wait a minute, put him up on the top rope again. And Orton's exuberance showing again. What is the Viper gonna do here? Perching him on that top rope. Are we going to see another superplex maybe? Uppercut from Orton. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's no way. Okay, oh my God! Orton looked for an RKO from the top rope. Dijakovic brought out one of the greatest colors I've ever seen. How does a man do something like that? I don't know. Top rope spine buster from Dijakovic. A moment ago, it looked as if he was done for, but it wasn't the case. Randy Orton, feast your eyes. From defeated to determined, from victorious to defenseless, Dijakovic hooks the leg. Dominic Dijakovic is going to King of the Ring. How do you do something like that? What an incredible counter at death's door from Dominik Dijakovic. And what an incredible victory in this breakout star's career. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We have to. Has him up on the top, and you think, well, here it is. This is the end. Perches him up there, but Dijakovic somehow pulls that off. I don't even know what to call it. What I do know is the Feast Your Eyes connected, and a big-time favorite has been added to King of the Ring. Dijakovic, no! No! I can't believe my eyes! This ain't happening! Oh, come on! Come on! Oh, come on, Dijakovic, please! Evil connects! And now the moonsault to add further to the plate. They were here after all. They were here all along.